Hello everybody, welcome! My name is Ryan, and we're back in Civilization 7. And here are the rules for today. Something to get your teeth into. Deity difficulty with Roman holidays AI work, just to make the AI a little spicier and more intelligent. Online speed with a 10-player, better balanced map mod. Generated Rich Highland. I think we've gone Rich Highland again. I quite like that map from last time. Not that we are replicating vague setup of certain charitable events. No, not at all. But we are practicing my online speed game with zero trade with the AI. This is a self-contained playthrough, just to practice things like, you know, empire management, settling, making my own way, not relying on AI trade. We've played 2 games so far, Theodora's Byzantium and Ludwig's Germany. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with both, so I'm looking forward today at getting stuck into Khmer, one of my favorite civilizations to play in the game because they're all about food and holy sites, and you get all kinds of crazy culture and faith. And did I say battle elephants? Yes, of course I did, with huge trebuchets on their back. They are wonderful. A few very quick things before we get started. Remember, come along to Discord if you want the save file for this game or any of the mods that I use when playing any of the games on my channel. They're all there on Discord. There's almost 20,000 people there. Come along, join in. It's not a cult, TM. I also just want to again quickly clarify that yes, I am training for more of a multiplayer setup. Yes, I will be playing multiplayer in future, do not worry. No, this is not an exact and perfect setup to replicate multiplayer environment, I know that, and no, I'm not playing with BBG because the event I'm practicing for does not play with BBG. It is not a CPL thing. CPL is wonderful, it is amazing, it is totally different. So, dear lovely audience, make yourselves comfortable, get yourselves a snack. No, come on, look at me, look into my eyes. That's not a snack, that's a whole meal. Put it down, half of that. Have a look at the packet right now, go on, pick it up, look at the packet. What's the recommended daily portion? It's more than you just picked up, isn't it? Yes. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. I won't judge. Scoff the whole lot. Scuff it into your face. Let's get going. Turn 1. And when I play with Khmer, I know that I need a few things. Firstly, access to rivers. Check. There's a big old river here. I like that. Secondly, we want to be going for holy sites, so I'm immediately just going to plonk onto astrology and forget about it. Thirdly, I would like the holy sites to be on rivers because they do a few things. They gain major adjacency. That's pretty good. That's +2. 2 housing. Again, very good. Bigger, wonderful cities, and food equal to the adjacency bonus. For instance, just putting a holy site on this random tile would already give it +2 faith and +2 food. Already a fantastic start. However, we can do better than that. Oh, we can do so much better than that. For instance, there are 2 mountains here, and a river, and a bunch of forests. I think that's a +5 if I can do my maths. Yes, I certainly can. I can even afford to get rid of one of the wood tiles around that holy site without diminishing the bonus. So I could the instant settle there or here, or I could move my way over to the Plains Hill, although that is slightly far away. That would be a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 settle on online speed. I don't know if that's worth it. We're stood next to a diamond tile here. That's pretty cool. Yes, I'm going to get rid of the marsh if I settle in place, so I'll lose access to that marsh, but I've got the 2-2-3 tile immediately to work. Does moving there give me anything? Is that like coast, or is that access to like a wonder or something? What's the appeal like here? +2, inexplicably. I think if I move my warrior onto this tile, I'm not going to reveal anything for myself, but there is a very small chance this is a wonder start. Let's see if I reveal anything. No. Fortunately, these 2 are hills with features on them, so I was never going to see over the top of them. It is a bit of a gamble. Do I move closer to it on the assumption that it may well be a wonder? In fact, I'm tempted to believe it is a wonder because +2, I've got 1-2 rainforest here. So there's a lot of appeal going on. This is all rainforest area. I'm tempted to believe this might be a wonder, you know. Do I settle towards it? Is there any point? Or do I simply settle here and then go down the river later and settle towards it if it is a wonder start? I think I'm going to go on what I know. Let's go for the turn 1 settle. Let's just do it. Let's see if the appeal has revealed anything else to me. Yeah, look, -3. You see, there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. Who knows? We'll figure it out in a second. You know the drill by now. The wonderful people on Patreon and Ko-fi are fantastic channel supporters. They help me to do what I love to do, which is play Civ in a free and wonderful way. Unleashed from the shackles of the algorithm. Thank you so much for supporting everything that I do. I like to name my cities after you wonderful lot. So, welcome to the Overlord, the benevolent master of my capital, glorious Petra. I apologize for the lack of desert. No matter, there is no easy tile that I'd like to work with a builder right now. I could go straight to monument, but I'd rather double scout it, I think. Now let's just get cracking. So you can see we're getting the +3 gold per turn, which is wonderful. No, it was just a mountain. Okay, I'm glad I didn't gamble on that. I just can't count my appeal. I need to work on counting my appeal. It is a skill, a very handy skill. But what I'm going to do is just keep moving down this river, because it might be, yes, there are other places down the river that I can settle. Handy. Very handy indeed. In fact, there may even be some really, really good holy sites that I could put down around here. When I'm playing as Khmer, I like to go up and down the rivers where I can. They're so important. You need to kind of know exactly what's going on. Tribal village. Bam. State workforce as a boost. Build a district. That's not a very good boost for me. That's pretty much the only thing I was guaranteed to do. Never mind. We'll go for another scout. Oh, did I mention? In the comments of the previous few series, a lot of people were telling me to turn the barbarians off because sometimes that's what happens in these multiplayer games. So I've turned barbarians off today, I think, or at least I should have done. If I remember to do it. There's always a good chance that I forgot to do it, but I should have turned them off. So if you see me making incredibly wild and extravagant scouting plays, you know why. I'm just moving my things around. Okay, wildfire just started on the tile with my warriors. That's a little bit unfortunate. It is a rainforest that's burning. It's only going to go upwards. Remember, wildfires cannot spread between regular forest and rainforest. So if I go from a rainforest to a forest, I should be safe to heal up. But I like to think that, I think you started that, warrior. What were you doing? Did you just start a fire and it got out of hand? Were you looking for diamonds and went, oh, everything just subsequently exploded and you were like, oh, I wonder what could have caused that. Who knows? Cheeky. Very cheeky, I think. I won't judge, but I kind of will. 3 turns away from astrology. I think I'm going to hard work this one. I haven't found anything yet that gives me the impression that there is an imminent natural wonder around me. I mean, I might just stumble into one, who knows? But why take the risk? I think instead of going for, do I go for 2 more scouts into astrology? Or do I start putting some time on the settler? Do I go for the monument? Here's the thing, later into the game, I'm going to get a unique temple. Now this gives me not only a bunch of faith, but it also gives me tourism and culture. The culture only comes on when we unlock it, and we unlock it at theology. So we've got a little bit of time to wait. I get faith from aqueducts, but again, we've got to wait a little bit for that. I'm tempted to believe that a monument might be good, but I'm going to just go for the quadruple scout style. Let's just go for maximum visibility. Why not? In terms of play style, you've seen me on these practice games go for science twice. Today I'm not going to. Today I'm going to try and go for culture, which I think will be much more tricky for a few reasons. Number one, I am actually not as practiced with culture on multiplayer. When I play multiplayer, I tend to go science because it's safer. If you're scientific, you have good defenses, you can bully people. It just tends to go better for me. Culture also requires things like open borders and trade routes, and I feel like players are better at stopping that. However, today I am not doing deals. I'm not going to be asking for open borders for anyone. I know I could. I know that is technically possible, but I kind of want to see, is culture victory possible if I just rely on things in my control? If I'm not going for open borders, if I'm not going for particularly aggressive trade routes, is it still something that I could win, or is it impossible? I'll get a little bit of an impression. Foreign trade boosted, and we just got a builder from that tribal village, which is very good because I have unlocked that rice. It's not a very productive tile, but it will help me to get my population nice and quick. Code of laws. I'm about to get a +5 holy site. Do I realistically need God King, or is it better that I just make the holy site quicker? I think it's better I make it quicker, but we'll go survey. I've got 1, 2, 3 scouts out at the moment. If none of these level up, then, you know, I can eternally and forever say the survey card is useless. I think everyone knows my feelings on the survey card. I do believe generally it's totally useless, but I'll give it a go anyway. In fact, we're even going to get a 4th scout out. Goodness me, what rubbish is this? There's astrology. We have enough gold to go for a 4-turn holy site. I'll buy the tile quickly, lock in the production, finish that scout, and then we'll move on. And as you can see, bam, irrigation boosted, nice 5 food tile for you. Lovely stuff. Next up, animal husbandry. I want to know where the sources of horses are. Give me every advantage the game will allow me. I'm just going to let this warrior move around now. I realize the health of it isn't so important. As long as it has more than half, an environmental disaster shouldn't destroy it, he says with no confidence whatsoever. Okay, my scouts are actually starting to find a couple of tribal villages now, which is pretty cool. Send you down south. I want all of the nearby rivers explored and found. chocolate and the bananas are making some really, really nice tiles down here. I'm looking for mountains that are next to rivers. Like, for instance, this tile is a nice +3. But even if I don't put my holy site on the river, sure, I miss out on the housing, but it's not the end of the world. That's actually a +4 if I was to settle there, or put the holy site on this tile because of the woods. I'll end up chopping all of the woods down eventually, but you know, it's fine. What's in the tribal village? 20 gold. Oh, lucky me. Lucky me. Why am I going for animal husbandry? Let's go for mining quickly. I have these diamonds that need improving. Oh my goodness, look at all these diamonds down here. We've got some really, really good spaces. This is a +4 holy site as well. This river system is delicious. Beautiful, beautiful. I have the Sahara. Okay, there was a natural wonder in the giant desert to my north. Not particularly handy for me, but it's there. I don't think I probably would have found that for the astrology boost. Curtain, where are you? Honored to meet you. Exchange information on capitals. Oh, you're all the way over there. Okay. The Hawk of War is a while away from me. That's probably fine, right? Oh, there was a wonder below me. Okay, good to know. This is the one that gives me 2 general points and 2 merchant points per turn if I own at least one of these tiles. This is now a priority to go and settle towards. That's really good to know. That's a very, very good natural wonder at the beginning of the game. Late game, not so good. Beginning of the game, it just means you can pick up some merchants and some generals without really needing to do anything. Bam! There's the holy site, there's the culture bomb, and there's the 5 faith per turn, as well as 5 extra food per turn. We've doubled the food coming in to glorious Petra. It is delightful. Now, I mentioned this in my previous game. We're learning to go for great people early in the game a little bit more. This is mainly because of the online speed bug that is in the base game. You need half as many great people points in order to get a great person on online speed. However, the projects give you exactly the same amount. In fact, no, they give you twice as much. It's 4 times. Look, it's just, you get a lot more. That's what you need to learn. That's what you need to know. So we're going to go for 2 holy site prayers, get the religion, then we're going to pick what we're going to take, because yeah, this is a heavily contested point when it comes to playing Khmer and which religion is better. And we'll talk about both options. Rapa Nui, first city-state. Wow, we've gone this far and we haven't met any city-states yet. Brutal. I should actually force a Pantheon through really quickly now. Bam. Nope, I'm only getting 2.5 faith per turn from my project. That was absolutely useless. There we go. Okay, we need to do 1 more of these projects and we should be fine. There is the wheel boosted. Mining's finished. We'll get animal husbandry done now. Foreign trade is done. We haven't found enough tribal villages just yet. There you go. There's at least 1. Buenos Aires. Ah, that's a really happy city-state. We like that. Bonus resources becoming +1 amenities. Delightful. I'm looking for a builder in a tribal hut. I mean, I guess I've got 1. We need more. We need more things that have builders in them. A new source of horses. I knew it. I knew it. Just where I was potentially going to put the aqueduct. Isn't that always the case? We'll go and work that source of horse as soon as we can. Hopefully next turn we'll get the Pantheon and we'll see what is still available for us. Pottery. I feel like we're going to need the housing. We very much are going to need the housing. Tribal village. Come on, give me something good. 10 faith. Hey, that will definitely give me a Pantheon. Choose a Pantheon. So the one thing that I do want to point out is, yes, I do really love reeds and marshes. And yes, I have a lot of marsh around. I could go reeds and marshes and do exactly what I did last game and go for an Etmananki city. And I think it would be incredibly powerful. However, I want to try and do something a little bit different today because we can't be using the same strategy over and over. I do think that's a very, very strong option. I mean, that would give me 2 more production in the capital with a really good tower coming along. Oh, that is super tempting. I was going to go for the Pantheon that gives me 2 housing and 2 amenities for a holy site on a river. Unfortunately, it has already been taken. It is gone. Oh man, that's actually gone. And the other one I was potentially going to go for as well, which is the Pantheon that gives me more great people points from writers and prophets. That's already gone as well. Even the jungle one has gone. Wow, so we really did get to a Pantheon very slowly. That's potentially one reason to go God King. Okay, good to know. Good to know. We've learned something there. Going God King would have actually genuinely helped in that instance. Well, what are our other options? Plantations for culture, pastures for culture, strategic resources for production and faith. We've got at least a couple of mines and quarries around, but this is all scattered. None of it is particularly good for me. I have a bit of everything. Yeah, this is an annoying start. I could go for the city growth rate and just lean into my Khmer ability. No, I think we're gonna have to go reeds and marshes, and this is ridiculous. I think it's by far the best Pantheon, given that I've got all of this. It makes this into a fantastic area to settle. It does, doesn't it? It makes it really, really solid. And it makes my capital better as well. All of these are really good options. I'm going to go for that because I think it gives me the most. I would have gone, just for the record, for the housing and amenities Pantheon. That's what I was planning on going with, but I wasn't quick enough. So there you go. Lesson learned. Craftsman is boosted. Horseback riding boosted. We have a source of horse. One more project needed. I could wait 3 turns, but we've learned our lesson. We're just going to run this one project and then potentially go for a 2-turn settler. That is ridiculous. 16 production in my capital now. Wow. Bandar Brunei. Found. Another city-state added to my list of wonderful places. 10 faith. Oh, good. Now I'm getting all the faith from the tribal villages. Good, good, good. Ethiopia. Bit of a religious enemy, but never mind. They are down in my bottom left. Okay, good to know. And that is the religion. We don't need the holy site prayers anymore. We'll make that next turn. You can see the housing is already beginning to cap. We want to get this city as big as possible. Happiness is going to be a problem. If I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. We're going to just put 2 turns into monument because it's a huge amount of extra culture. We do need to get settlers out soon, mate. I'm trying to work out whether or not I wait for Magnus. I don't think it's worth it. Brazil, good to meet you. You're down there in Rio. Golden Age achieved. I love how easy Golden Ages are in online speed. They're so much easier than in standard speed. I don't know what it is about it. It's a slightly less cap, I guess. And here is the religion. Let's go for a nice yellow color today. So I spoke before about the disagreement between the best religion for Khmer, and it's basically the choice between work ethic and feed the world. Feed the world is my favorite. 3 food on shrines and temples and 2 housing mean that you stack the bonuses that Khmer already have towards housing and food, and you make even more housing and food. What happens is that your cities become absolutely massive and you work a lot more mines and lumber mills, and by those mines and lumber mills you make more production than if you actually just were getting the extra production from work ethic. Plus, the extra population in your city from the 4 housing cap and the extra food, that encourages you to build more districts, and districts give you more yields than work ethic ever would. However, work ethic gives you the production quicker. It also switches online faster. If the snowball is what Civ is all about, that is certainly the way of doing it. Now, I went feed the world last time. Today I'm going to go work ethic so that I'm practiced using both. Again, my choice would have been feed the world. Feed the world is absolutely what I normally would have gone for. So just so you know. I'm also going to go this time. Do I go for Holy Order? Make the Apostles cheaper? No. I think I'm going to make sure we're using a resource that I kind of need. I'll go for the gold. The gold is just reliable. It's handy. It's consistent. So there is the holy site. I did the yields thing. That's good. 5 faith, 5 production, 5 food. Finish this monument out and I'll start to get some settlers. So going to just unlock wheel because I like the extra food. That would be something that would stack very nicely with what I've got already. So let's switch my government around a little bit potentially. Survey's still good. Urban planning is still good. No, maybe I don't need to. Maybe I don't need to at all. I kind of want to do is get Magnus in place as soon as possible. We'll go for Government Plaza. Actually, one thing I was thinking about going for a Government Plaza on this tile and then a holy site on this tile. So if I'm going to do that, that would give me Magnus nice and quickly, but I need to get bronze working to chop it down, which is going to be a difficult one because I don't have the barb boost on that. So let's just work that through. Let's go for 2 turns on settlers. We can get a few of these out. Yeah, sure. Magnus isn't around at the moment, but he'll be around soon. La Venta. That is first meet. Yay! Finally meeting the city-states. I thought this game was quite an unlucky one for city-states, but feels like eventually we're working it all out. The population didn't actually go down because it's growing so fast. We might as well just enjoy this and start pumping settlers out for a little bit. I don't have the settler card or anything, but we did leave it a little late. Ideally, I would like Magnuson to get the 3 builders. That's the only thing. But we're a little while off getting political philosophy. I think what I'm going to do is go to 4 cities and then leave it there until I can start spamming. 4 is a good little mid place because it means all the luxuries you're working all take effect. So I've got the diamonds and we're going to go and pick up some chocolate by settling that direction. Where are all the luxuries? I feel like I'm missing them on the map. No. Oh, there's pearls down there. I haven't really got a very good distribution. That is the only problem. Enough. As long as you've got 2. 2 is enough. It's not ideal. Ideally, you need 4, but 2 will do. Harold, nice to meet you. Now, I am being a little bit aggressive with my settlers here. I probably should get into the habit of escorting them. There are no barbarians on this map, and I don't really believe that AI ever has it in them to do anything too ridiculous. So I'm kind of being a little bit aggressive here. I appreciate this would not be a clever move. I really should should be escorting them. Hey, look, never mind. What are you going to do? Right, there's my third. We'll switch over to infrastructure in a second. State workforce, done. My first governor, done. Do I Armani tour? I think it might be worth it, you know? Question is whether or not we go Pingala or Magnus. I think I'm tempted to go Pingala because we've got such a high population and I'm likely to sit on that in this city for a little bit. I'd like the culture as fast as possible to get my governments through. Yeah, if I go to early empire, what I'm going to do, we'll keep urban planning, we'll keep survey. I will go for Pingala first. Era score with this many scouts, I'm not struggling with. So we'll pick up Armani in a bit, but I don't need to rush that. I'm likely to get 10 population first. I'm likely to get some of my unique buildings and units. Next age, classical shouldn't be a problem. I'm not too worried about hitting the golden age and classical era. It's fine. I'm a golden boy. I'm Ursa. Being golden is what I do. I frequently just shout gold at people. I've been known to do that all Sunday. Mogadishu. 2 mercantile city-states. Started to think this game only has mercantile city-states. Can I wait for the new era? 3 turns? I don't think it makes sense. Let's just start settling. Bam. It's the second city right on top of the chocolate. Welcome to the wonderful Lord Rich 111. I've been saving gold just for this instance because I'm gonna start to buy in the monuments in cities that don't have a huge amount of production. Then we're gonna go for this lovely +4. That'll sync up with the beautiful government plaza over there in a second. Lovely. Muscat. 3 mercantile city-states. Well, if this isn't telling me to build more harbors and commercial hubs, I don't know what is. What is my build order, by the way? I know you're thinking, well, I'm going to start with a holy site in every city. I just think it makes sense when you're playing with work ethic. You need to run that as quick as you can. After that, I'm going to make sure that every city, if possible, has at least one thing giving a trade route, like a commercial hub or a harbor, and one thing making production, like an industrial zone. After that, we're not going to go for science. Today, we are obviously going to be going for theatre squares. It's my intention to drain the game of all classical era writers if I can. I've got the classical era to do it. I haven't got any theatre squares at the moment, but we do have the ability to get projects. Once we go early empire, I'm actually going to potentially skip political philosophy and go straight to drama and poetry. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. Oh, iron. Iron has appeared. The only iron I've got. It's the only iron I've got. Still, it's awesome. City number 3. Settling on top of all of the gold. I know, it's glorious. Gladiatore. Again, a beautiful +4 holy site. Actually, there's one there as well as there. I don't need to spend the gold. It's because of all the woods and I'm likely to chop that out though, whereas this is mountain guaranteed. I like ones that aren't likely to go down, so we'll keep that for now. Holy site, holy site, holy site. Oh, it's what you like to see. And government plaza. This will give Pingala the connoisseur boost, and after that, we could potentially just go for a hard build of Stonehenge. I'd chop this wood out, which isn't needed, and put Stonehenge on that tile. Go for a free apostle. Not the best wonder for me, but it is an option. Haven't got any camps. I like to build Temple of Artemis. That's often a good one. Hanging Gardens is also an alternative option for growth. You know what? Hanging Gardens might actually be the better option. Let's try that. Or Etmananki. Oh, Etmananki. You do that in my capital. Let's try Etmananki. That worked really well for us last time. Ideally, we want as many wonders as possible. They all give tourism later in the game. Australia and Wilhelmina, by the way, going very heavy on science. Eindhoven, good to see you. No, I will not send a trade route to you. Preslav, it's not a mercantile city-state. Restart the game. We haven't got enough. What is this? I actually do need to spread my religion at some point, so that's something we need to work on. Early Empire is now beautifully finished, which means we can now try and rush drama and poetry as soon as possible. I'm going to go for Armani first, send you over to Buenos Aires, start farming some era score for next age. Writing. I don't have any commercial hubs at the moment or harbors, so we're going to stick to monumentality. I like the builders. The settlers, I'm probably going to actually have the production to produce. Now the government plaza is finished. Connoisseur, watch my culture. Currently 8.7? No, 16.8 for turn Etmananki as well. It's worth a go. It's worth a go. I've had it said in the comments, but I am allowed to trade 1 by 1 for resources. So 1-for-1 trades. Marble for diamonds with Brazil. I would be able to do that. I'm just not, because it's trying to be practice for me. Like I'm trying to just assume that everyone, the player lobby, has decided that Ursa Ryan is a true threat and needs to be treated as such. It happens in multiplayer. You know, especially when you have my reputation. He says absolutely modestly. Philip's potato of doom. Boom! Why did I overwrite this marsh tile? Because I wanted to get this +3 holy site. I didn't want to settle on that tile, and I wanted to be on freshwater. Not a particularly good settle, you could argue, but it is what it is. Do I keep the rainforest or do I chop it? Trying to make my builder charges last at the beginning of the game before we rush feudalism. 8 production feels like a really small amount. 8 food also feels like a very small amount, but it actually would get me quite a bit of population and it would start the city running quicker. So, no, I think I'd rather have a builder charge for now. The issue I'm having at the moment is that my cities are growing too fast. I can't spread religion to them. If they stick on one population for long enough, you can just spread your religion just by having a holy site. I have too much population. Lord Rich going to 2 pop that quickly means that I didn't actually pick my religion up because the Pantheon amount goes up and up and up and up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I might be able to just spread it with 1 missionary. I kind of wanted to avoid going for a missionary where possible. I want my faith to be on monumentality based stuff. Once Espenanki is finished, we should go for that. Oh, drama and poetry. I let that overrun for a turn longer than I needed to. Come on, Ursa. Keep an eye on it all. Babylon. I really hope no one turns up with Babylon on this sort of stuff, but I suspect they might. Depends what the house rules are, eh? Chopping out Atamananki. 2 science, 1 production to all marsh tiles in the Empire. This stacks with my Pantheon and will massively increase the science I've got because suddenly we've got 1, 2, 3 marsh tiles that I'm working, which is 6 extra science. And drama and poetry is also finished. We'll finish up political philosophy. I want Apadana. I need the space for my great works. I am, however, going to buy the shrine with gold instead of a monument so that I can get the missionary out. Now I know that I can spend builders or buy them using faith, and all this faith is spare for that. So we'll get 1 in Lord Rich and get another 1 in my capital. Start chopping some stuff through. I plan on putting hanging gardens on this tile. I'm going to put a theatre square down on this one. Well, this is another fun little reason as to why I prefer, with Khmer, playing Feed the World over work ethic. When you get to the point where you can unlock the Prasat, your temple, you of course need to build it, and you need to build the shrine. If you've got Feed the World, you are building shrines everywhere because you need them for your religion. If you've got work ethic, simply building the holy site is enough. And you often forget to actually put down the shrine itself. Not all the time. You can force yourself with discipline to do it, but it's one of those little synergies that I think with Khmer works incredibly well. It's just always worth it. So I'm just going to make the effort to build the shrine quickly. Like Lord Rich is already on 15 production. Work ethic is really doing wonderfully. We'll go for mysticism and unlock the beautiful scripture card as soon as we can. And I think, do we want to become wonder builders today? I'm tempted to go autocracy rather than classical republic. Classical republic will help me to stay happier and will give me a better assortment of cards, but let's do something a little bit different today. Let's go autocracy because that gives me 10% production towards wonders. Survey I'm going to keep in. Urban planning I'm going to keep in. Then we're going to go for another 15% towards wonders and diplomatic league. Let's put all of that in so that the city-states will start to behave me. Buenos Aires, I was on turn 35. Oh no, it was this turn. I thought I'd missed it for a second. I did not. That's good. Okay, Amani, you've done great. Make your way now over to La Venta. Horseback riding. See if we can squeeze Apadana out. Might be tricky, but with a little bit of systematic chopping, maybe we'll be able to do this. Oh, it's a lot of extra production that went towards that chop. Fair enough. 15 extra faith per turn on scripture. Oh yeah, that's the sort of thing we want to see. Apadana is now only 3 turns away. Only 3! So why is the Prasat so good? It's 2 faith extra compared to a regular temple. It gives 0.5 culture for every population in the city. So at the moment it'll be worth 2.5 culture in Lord Rich, which is more than a monument. It also gives tourism later in the game. So this is something that I really want to be seeing my population 20 cities appearing. I need them quick. I need them built rapidly. I need them everywhere. Actually, I'm going to go for 1, 2 envoys in La Venta. Pick the city-state up and move Amani on immediately. Candy. Yes, absolutely I would like Candy on side. If we can get some relics, that will help hugely. Portugal. Good to meet you. Feels like you're the sort of person that I would find on a multiplayer game. Brazil's got the first writer, by the way, and is starting to pick up engineers and merchants. They're just running their carnival project. Oh, the carnival project is a lot of fun. Definitely something we want to keep an eye on as we play more of this. 115 faith on a settler. Yeah, maybe I'm going to go and settle out now. We've got 4 cities, but I do need to start thinking about settling out as quickly as I can. Maybe Lord Rich. You should be the Pingala city. I mean, at the moment, Pingala is obviously working really well in my capital. Perhaps Lord Rich should have been the one to build the government plaza. Yeah, because ideally I want the settler coming out of that city. Yeah, I might have made a mistake there. It's an inefficiency. Never mind. Let's cut that down. There's Apadana. 2 envoys when I build a wonder. I'm looking at this. Look at the appeal of this little bit of land. I'm going to build a preserve here, which sounds like a crazy thing to do, but I'm going to do it. And the reason is there's actually 2 city-states that want a preserve, so I can get 4 envoys total from doing it. So I'm just going to seize Candy quickly. Bam. Now, hopefully we'll get some relics. Jerusalem, another faith city-state. Here we go. They're all below me. I actually have a sort of monopoly of geography over them, which is amazing. Let's build the ancestral hall quickly. If I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. And all of my gold, I think, is going to go into my capital so that it can do other things. So once we've built that, I'll try for a 2-turn hanging gardens. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to build hanging gardens there at all. I'm going to try and build Colosseum around here. I feel like Colosseum is the better choice. Zulu, good to meet you. First circumnavigation. There you go. Classical age. Golden age is always going to happen. Oh, hello, Ethiopia. You're just going to forward settle me like that? All right. I see you. I see you. There's no way they'll keep that city unless they really try. That's a silly move. Fair enough. Sometimes you just have to let the enemy make a mistake. Don't interrupt them when they're having fun like that. Speaking of, we have the Theatre Square in 26 production. I can't let Brazil get every single great writer. They're probably going to get 2 of them. So I'm going to start running some Theatre Square festivals and pick them up myself now. So going to pick up a researcher. There you go. 41 science per turn now. 10 population. Jerusalem now bows to me. And I found Chingeti. I kid you not. It's just one finds another. They're all below me. This is wonderful. Okay, well, basically what you do in a game like this is you find where the city-states are and you lean into that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Like, did you see that? 12 faith. 12 faith for building a prasat. It's like, all right, if you insist, I will get a settler every 2 turns. I will do that for you. If you really want me to. I reckon we are now 5 turns, 8 turns, something like that away from feudalism. Also going to, just for speed, now put my scouts on auto explore. Once you circumnavigate the globe, kind of doesn't really matter so much after that. Wu Zijian, she's got the spies. She is annoying. That's the Wu Zijian song, if ever you wanted to know what that sounded like. I've got the spies, I am annoying. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Daddy Bear Todd, Toon General, Civilized, Capoyobi Virani, The Uncivil Engineer, Lillian, Radiatore, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy Zursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Bookaluk 79, Bob Loblaw, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Hal Carnassus, Morax, Zynikush, Echo Bear, Deja Fu, Kovuwu, Legally Trash, Is This Live, Twin Cam Inferno, Martin S, Minnow, Sorted Dutch, Rad Bickley, Shadow of Gaia, Flower Power Bear, Poppy Dude, Dan Jamo. Thank you everyone for your support. Goodbye!